What's up, legends? We are in the midst of, hopefully, we have finished false move week beginning. And oh, hang on, I've got this weird notice on my stream. No, I think it's all good. Can you guys hear me in the chat? Just let me know. But we should hopefully be over false move week beginning. It's now Tuesday. We should be back to good trading. We do have ISM coming out a little bit later today. I've got LFG in the chat. Let's go. So happy I joined TTC. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. I think you can. I'm pretty sure you can. I think that notice was just freaking me out for absolutely no reason. But I wanted to jump on today because we've got, how long have we got? About just over an hour till the US session starts today. And we've got ISM and nobody's telling me in the chat if you can hear me. So I'm going to assume that you can. Hang on, let me just double check here. Maybe it's coming through late for me. What have I got here? Yeah, we can. Beautiful. Okay, thank you guys. All right, so let's go. So I want to talk to you about the current price action for Bitcoin. I do have some concerns, but I also want to go over what has happened since the last time I updated you and then show you some other stuff, okay? So let's get straight into it. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm Annie. This is Trade Travel Chill. Be sure to smash that like button really nice and early, especially when I'm live, because it lets other people know that this is the kind of content that people want to see. And then it sends more people here whilst we're live. And so because we're covering the session open, it's really important that this is time sensitive information. So we want to get as many people here as possible. So let's go and have a look at the Bitcoin chart. And let me zoom out. I want to first start on the daily just to get a very big, quick picture idea of what is going on. So with Bitcoin, like I mentioned on, I think it was Sunday, I did the last update. We're really, at this point in time, we just have the break of the prior resistance and a retest when we're talking high time frame daily. That's fine. My expectation from that is choppiness, and I believe that that's what we're seeing so far this week. Green Hornet says, hit the like, guys. Yes, I would appreciate if you could do that. So daily time frame is just, it's not really doing anything. It's currently above 50 EMA. That's great. It's currently still just being a retest of a prior resistance. No worries. So let's go and have a look then at the 4-hour time frame. Now, what I warned about earlier this week was the chance of this trapping volume formation or half Batman. They're kind of similar. This would be a half Batman. But was the chance of this only having 2 drops and 1 more potentially still to go. Now, what will happen if that's going to play out is things don't just drop in a straight line. The market maker will send price down, then they'll send it back up before they send it down, okay? Because in that movement of sending it back up is where they trap more traders in the wrong direction. So I gave you on Sunday these 2 areas to watch, which was between about 115K to 116K. And we can see that in yesterday's price action, we did spike into that area. These orders actually moved during the day. They moved up a bit higher, but doesn't matter. Point is that price did come in there. It's a rejection of the 4-hour 50 EMA. And so at this point in time, there is, well, how do I say this? The possibility of another move down is still very high. But for me, do I want to draw this conclusion yet? I don't think so. I just want to tell you that part, okay? So the possibility right now is a high chance that the move to the downside is not done. Now, when we go to the smaller time frame, this is where we get to talk about the day trading setup or the 3-day swing setup and what's happening. The way that I personally do my counts on the 1-hour time frame, to me, the 3 levels have played out. But when levels play out, they can reset and start a new 3-level in the same direction. They don't necessarily have to change direction. So after you have identified your levels, you have to look for signs. Like, let's just say your levels were to the downside. You have to look for signs that the buyers are stepping in to change the trend. And if you don't see the signs, you start looking for hints of potential. We call it a reset. So a reset where the levels are going to start again. So when we zoom in on what happened over the weekend, let's just quickly talk about that. This is the weekend trap. And at this point in time, what I can see is weekend trap is consolidation, by the way, it's not a trend. But what we can see is that on the weekend, actually, this happened on Sunday, the market makers trapped traders to the downside. So that meant late shorts, okay? So late shorts are trapped here, and then prices moved out and away. So they would be sitting in a loss right now. And the more price moves up, the more they get liquidated. So some of them would have already been liquidated if they were on super high leverage. Some are probably holding on for dear life at this point in time. So not everybody loses, but the people who picked the wrong way, the goal of the market maker is to liquidate them in order to build their own positions. So after this bounce, this is where we then come into the area that we talked about. Okay. And so now what's important is to assess what happened in that area and can we be bullish or bearish from what we're seeing. And this is where we have to go down even more. So on the 15-minute time frame, it's very choppy. Like I haven't traded this week because I'm not interested. When I don't see clear rises like this, like when I say clear rises, I mean nice volume coming in. And you know, this is pretty embarrassing. If you ask me, it's embarrassing price action. But if I don't see that, I don't get enticed into taking trades. I'm happy to just chill and sit still. And I'll explain to you why I can be so chill in this video. But basically, you can see here that price spiked into the sell orders that we identified on the last video. And following that, we have a lower high that was created in the dead gap zone today. We've moved down. What happened here? Right here, the UK spiked to the low of Asia. That's important because that means that the liquidity that was built in the Asia session, so traders who took positions here and had stop losses or liquidation points just under the low, they got wiped out on this candle right here. So what can happen after that is they can then attempt to come back, and they attempt to come back to take the other side. And your steps are that they will first try to take 50% of Asia. And if they get past that, they attempt to take the initial high of the day. If they can't take the initial high of the day, which is 115.073, if they can't take that in a new session, then it's likely that the trend will continue. So far today in UK's got 36 minutes to go, and this candle doesn't look like it's going to break the initial high of the day. The only problem with US sessions is that they can reverse whatever. Oh, wow, this is big. This is big, this move down. It may be the start of what I was saying earlier, that this does look like we're going to move further down to the downside. The only thing is I don't trust or act on end of session price action if it's the beginning of changing a trend. Okay, so what would need to happen, because of 36 minutes of UK, is if this is going to move down from now, if you weren't already in a trade, which to be honest with you, the trade usually to get the 3-day swing after false move week beginning, you're looking at session changeovers on Monday and Tuesday, and especially in the US. So this would have been a gambler's entry, but that was a very clear lower high in the dead gap zone, right? So that right there was the perfect entry to already be short, but that might not be on your time zone and therefore you missed it. I'm going to solve that problem for you today as well. But anyway, back to this. So like I said, I don't trust end of session price action because the market makers of that session have to take profit. So you can see that UK moved the price up, and therefore taking profit would be in the opposite direction. Now, what I would wait for when the US opens, we got two things. So what time? It's 4:24 now. What time is at 6 p.m. we have ISM services PMI coming out. So you have to be aware of that. It's now 4:30. So it's in 90 minutes from now that ISM is coming out, and that may actually give you a clearer picture of what the 3-day swing is going to be. So if the UK is in the process of potentially starting the 3-day swing, what will happen from here is that price will come down as it's doing right now. Then the US will open, the news will come out, will create a lower high, and that is going to solidify to you that the 3-day move is going to be to the downside. So that's what I would be looking out for when around about the news event a little bit later today. The other option is, because UK is selling off, if it creates a higher low, look, I don't like this option. So I'm telling you just to tell you, but I don't like this option. And if it happened, I probably wouldn't trade it. I would only be looking for the setup that I just told you about. If I get that setup, it will trigger my reason to enter a trade. If I don't get that setup, I will sit out. But I'm going to tell it to you anyway. What could happen is, because we've swept Asia's low, and we've come up and we've attempted to take Asia's high, but we haven't been successful. If the UK closes as a higher low and we keep that higher low at the news event in the US, then we may then reclaim 50% Asia and we may move out to the upside. So definitely be open to this, but it's going to be something that you have to react to on the news event. Like I said, my preference is for more downside. But that is a possibility as well. And my mind will change on that if the price action shows me that a higher low is going to hold. Now, at the end of the day, when you zoom out, all of this is essentially, like, let's go the 1 hour time frame. All of this is essentially just sideways chop for the week so far. It's not all that exciting, okay? So that brings me to something else that I want to talk to you guys about. But before I do, can you just let me know in the comments, has that made it clear what to look out for the US session today? Just give me a yes if you understand while I take a quick sip of water. Okay, you guys are good. I think you guys are good. Okay, so now those of you who have been following my content, you know that I always say that the best trades often come from patience, waiting for clear setups rather than forcing trades in choppy conditions. But here's what's interesting about sideways markets that most people don't talk about. They can actually be some of the most profitable conditions for a completely different type of trading strategy. And speaking of sideways price action, like what we're seeing this week, and ranging markets, this actually connects me to something that I've been working on that I want to share with you guys today. So I'm going to shift gears a little bit, and I want to have a little bit more of a serious conversation with you today. This is going to be different from my usual technical analysis videos, but it does involve trading, so stay with me. I think it's more important than any single chart pattern that I can show you right now. So you know that I've been showing you swing and day trading strategies for years on this channel, but there's something that I've never talked about that's actually supplemented my trading success, and it's allowed me to have that chilled nature that you guys see on this channel. Now, it's not some indicator or some advanced pattern or some super crazy technique. It's something much more fundamental about how successful people actually build wealth. So here's what I've learned after years in this game. The trader who actually makes it long term aren't the ones trying to hit home runs every day. They're not the ones putting all their pressure on one trading style or one income source. They're the ones who treat trading like it's one piece of a bigger puzzle. When I first started trading, I thought that success meant quitting everything else and just going full time into trading. I thought if I just focused hard enough on charts and studied enough patterns that I could make every trade count and every day I could make profit. So I used to sit at home and literally have the charts open for 13 hours a day. If you're a private member in T2C, you know this story. At the time, I was doing that because I didn't want to miss a trade. I didn't know about market makers schedules, like what we teach on this channel. I didn't know about session times. And so I would literally sit there watching charts for hours, just waiting for price to do something because I couldn't afford to miss any trade opportunity. But I tell you what, that mindset almost destroyed my account more than once. And do you want to know what I discovered? I discovered that the pressure of needing every trade to pay your bills, it's psychological poison. And when you need to trade to pay your bills, you make different decisions. You will hold your losers too long, hoping they turn around, and you'll close winners too early because you can't afford to give back gains. It's literally a recipe for disaster. And so the truth is that you've probably heard the saying, if not, I'll tell it to you, but you've probably heard the saying that most or the average millionaire will have at least 7 income streams. And they might have a business or a high paying job. They might earn money from stocks or crypto or both. And might have property or affiliate income or whatever it is, doesn't matter. But in order to get to where they are, they did that because they focused on the right thing, and that is building their income in multiple ways. And then once they did that, the next part was the most important part. They got good at that thing that was making the money, and then they either outsourced or automated it to get their time back so that they could then go on to start making new income streams whilst also working out ways to compound their existing income. And this is how you do wealth creation right. Is this making sense? Leave me comments, because I'm reading your comments in the chat. I want to make sure this all makes full sense to you guys. So that's saying about millionaires having 7 or more income streams, it's not just true, it's necessary in today's world. Guys, I'm so amazed. I just have to tell you something before I lose my train of thought. You guys know I have this crazy cough right now, right? So I took this, I don't want to jinx it, but I took this big swig of honey right before this stream so that I wouldn't cough, and I think it actually worked. So yay, let's not jinx it. Let's hope it stays that way. But anyway, let's get back to it. So the reason I'm talking about these wealthy people is because the people who build real wealth, they're the ones that diversify not just their portfolios, but their entire approach to making money. So on that note, over the past 6 months, I've been quietly testing something that complements my manual trading. And I mean quietly, I've not mentioned it on this channel because I haven't mentioned it to anyone, to be honest with you, because I want to make sure that I could actually make it work consistently first. I'm never going to launch into anything without thoroughly testing it myself, because the last thing I want is to expose something to you that I haven't proven works myself first. So what the hell am I talking about? I'm going to tell you. But before I tell you, let me just check if you are enjoying this video. How many people do we have here? And how many likes do we have? Let me check. We have 960 watching and 488 are getting value. If there are more of you getting value, smash those like buttons, because I'm really going to show you something pretty cool today. So I'm talking about gridbot trading, but probably not the way you've seen it explained on YouTube, promising passive income. It's not passive. It does take skill, but you can get that skill fast. And I'm going to show you how today, so stay with me. But before I do, let's just have a look at, I just want to show you some of my own personal grids, okay? So these are some grids that I have open now. This one hasn't started yet, but these are some grids. Most of them are in the green, not playing with huge money here. Like, these are ones I've only started in the last few days. It's nothing crazy, nothing life-changing. Some of them are in red, which I'll explain to you why that is. But this is basically what I've been doing on the side in addition to my trading, right? So like I said, nothing crazy yet, nothing life-changing, but it's consistent income from markets that were essentially going nowhere. Like, I set these up over the weekend and price was just doing nothing, right? So before you think this is some magic money printer that's going to solve all your trading problems, I just want to tell you what everyone else gets dangerously wrong about automated trading, because that's going to save you from making mistakes, right? So if you've watched other videos about Gridbots, you've probably heard phrases like set and forget, or works in any market condition, or passive income while you sleep. That kind of advice, that's going to lose you money fast. And I've seen that happen to a lot of people, a lot of my friends who won't touch Gridbots anymore because they got burned real bad. Yes, Gridbots are easy to set up technically. The actual button pushing takes less than 30 seconds. But knowing when and how to use them, that's where 90% of people fail, and that's where the real skill lies. So let me show you some of the common mistakes that people make. Hold on, let me just share my screen here. So let me show you this as an example, okay? See this chart? So in this type of an environment, this is where your Gridbots work excellently, right? It's a sideways ranging market. But if you have then a look at this ended up breaking out massively. Now, when your bot breaks out, it doesn't continue to trade. Okay, so if you don't change your range, you can change your ranges, but if you don't change your ranges, you could miss these massive breakouts. So this is where trading is better for sure. And this is why I said to you right at the beginning, this supplements my trading, but doesn't replace it. But what this will do essentially is, whilst your whatever you've chosen is in a range, it's going to consistently keep buying when it's at the bottom of your range. This is in the case of a long bot, okay? And then at the top of the range, it takes those profits. And that's, you have to set that range. That's why you need a skill. So when it breaks out, it just stops, okay? So that means you don't capture this upside. Again, that's why trading is still good. And the thing is, in a parabolic thing like this, even if you change the range, it's not going to be as good a performer for you as trading is, because it doesn't pull back enough. So in order for a bot to be really well, and I'm going to show you exactly what happens, but in order for it to perform really well, you essentially want to see price literally doing this in ranges, okay? Either like this or sideways or whatever. So even if it was trending here, you would want to see the deeper pullbacks, because it's on the pullbacks that it buys. So when it's just parabolic straight up like this, that's when you could miss out on that big parabolic move if you're not also manually trading. Lucky for you, the platform I'm going to show you can manually trade on as well. So I just wanted to explain to you that there are environments where Gridbots are going to work better than your trading, but there's also going to be environments where you don't want your Gridbot trading, okay? Why? Because like I said, the Gridbots profit from price bouncing between levels, and once it goes outside of your range, unless you change your range, it just does nothing. So the second mistake that I see people doing is picking volatile altcoins without proper analysis. I've seen people throw bots on like stupid low volume meme coins that they can just move 20% in a day, and they think they're going to make more money from that. It doesn't work that way, because like I just showed you, if the bot gets out of the range, it just does nothing. So it doesn't capture that, okay? Now the third mistake, and this is the big one, is not understanding the psychology of seeing red before green. And this is what I'm going to explain to you in detail. So I told you earlier that I had some bots set up here that are red. Okay, so let me explain to you why that is and what is happening. Wait, where should I do that? Here. Should I do that here? Yeah, this is a good example. So essentially what's happening is, when you have set a range, your bot is going to be buying dips as it accumulates positions. So within your range, like it's around about the lower 60% of your range, it's buying. So let's just say, for example, it did this buy right here and then price came down. In that time from when it did the buy and price moved down, you have to go into a little bit of a loss, right? The P&L has to show red because the price is moving down from that particular Gridbot buy. But the bot knows what it's doing. It's accumulating the position. So it keeps buying down in your range that you set. And then when it starts to move back up, you'll see your P&L turn to green. And then when it gets into the top part of your range, it's taking the profits. So for a little while, when you initially start your bot, it will go red before green. But if you don't understand this, you will see it go red, you'll freak out, and you'll close the bot before it even has the chance to do what it's meant to do and actually start working for you. So I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense how the bots actually work? We're going to do one together. But I just want to explain how they work. And I want to tell you the last thing. So the worst mistake you can make is position sizing and risk management. People will throw their entire account at one bot or set ranges that are way too wide for their account size. I've seen people blow entire accounts because they treated bots like slot machines instead of the sophisticated tools that require education and proper implementation. So here's what you need to know. You can't measure your risk to reward prior to starting a bot like you can with trading, okay? So you can you just make what you make from it. Like you just allocate an amount of funds that you're willing to put on that bot and you make what you make. That's why it's a side passive kind of income. With trading, you can measure your risk to reward and you know that if you risk this much and the trade goes to your take profit, you know what you're going to make in advance. It doesn't work like that with bots. But that's why they work very well together, not one or the other. So like I said to you earlier, I've been using the platform Pionex to do this, and they have this thing called, it's a built-in risk management system called a margin reserve. Now, because the other thing about these ranges is, you know, I showed you what happens if it breaks out, right? What happens if it breaks down? In the case of a long bot, what happens if it breaks down outside of your range? The bot just stops. It stops doing any buying or selling. But if it keeps going down, there is a liquidation price and you can get liquidated and lose everything. So again, that's why you need the skills. And the reason why I chose Pionex is because of their margin reserve. And that's basically your protection from liquidation, but you still need to make sure that you don't break the rules of the good system that they have set up for you, in order to make sure that you don't get liquidated or you're not over leveraged, okay? So we're gonna set up a bot live together on this live stream, and I'll explain the margin reserve in detail when we get to it, because very important for you to know. But the hype, or the type of like bad public advice that's out there about Gridbots, it's exactly why I spent months creating a proper education system around this, because the last thing I want is for any of you to lose money because someone else gave you incomplete or dangerous information. So I'm going to show you exactly how they work, and more importantly, why they only work in specific market conditions. And like I've shown you just before, let me go back to it. Here. Yep. I don't know why my screen's taking so long to change, but like I've shown you before, this is the perfect market conditions when you see price consistently hit a level to the upside and consistently hit a level to the downside. When it moves out parabolic like this, or a parabolic dump to the downside, not perfect market conditions. When it trends nicely, so let's just say it was doing, actually, let me show you here. So let's just say, let's just say this was a trend, okay? I'll turn this on. Okay, so this is the perfect market conditions, if this makes sense. So if you have it ranging sideways, and within that range, you're seeing on smaller time frames higher highs and higher lows, like nice pullbacks between every new higher high, and then the other way, nice pullbacks or nice retracements before it creates a new low. This is the perfect type of price action for a grid bot. And even if it then breaks out to a new level, it's fine, because you can just change your settings, but you want to just make sure that the breakout is also just doing a really nice trend in the breakout and not parabolic. So that's what makes the bots shine, okay? That's the perfect environment for grid bots. You can do long and short bots, so this is relevant in the opposite direction as well. So yeah, basically sideways or nice, slow moving, easy trends with decent pullbacks. Is this making sense? Let me know in the thing. I'm seeing some weird comments here. Okay, so I'm guessing price is pulling back. Relax, chill. Oh my God, come on, guys. Are you seriously having a freak out over that? Seriously having a freak out over that? That's crazy. But anyway, okay, let me get back to it. This is nothing all that exciting. So in the moment, whoops, I don't want to do that. In the moment that prices are pulling back when they're trending, they're going to be buying, so your P&L may go negative. And that's why, if you have a look at this, this is negative. So this is in the moment of pulling back into the lower end of my range, but it's fine because that's what it's meant to do. When it reaches the bottom of my range and price turns around, that's going to turn green again. So you shouldn't freak out over this, okay? This is totally normal. Now, I want to also explain to you exactly what you're seeing on these P&Ls, because you got to understand what you're reading. So let's just go to another one, and I'll explain it to you in full. Hang on a second. Okay, so what you're seeing when you set up a Gridbot is this is your P&L card. Now you can see that there are multiple parts here that are showing profits. What do they all mean? Essentially, it's split up into different sections. This one here is called your grid profit. This is the profit that has been secured on your current bot. If you wanted to, you could pull this out of the bot and just keep it as profit without affecting the performance of the bot at all. Hold on a second. Or another thing you can do is you can take that profit and put it back into the bot to trade a bigger position size. If you have a very well performing bot, maybe you want to add more money to it, you can pull out this grid profit and you can put it back into the bot so that it's now trading with more money. The next one here is the trend. This will fluctuate, okay? So this one here is secured. This here will fluctuate. This one is what is in the market now, trading up and down. Okay, so this will change as the market conditions change, and that's not secured. As long as you have the bot open, it's not secured. This one up here that says total profit, that's the combination of both of these. And if you were to close your bot right now, that's what you would take out of the market. Okay, so again, this is also not secured until you close the bot. And then overall just shows you the annual result. Don't worry about the annual result because no crypto is going to stay in the same range for a whole year unless it was Tron. But other than that, don't worry about this. You just need to understand what these two mean and that they're a total of this. Okay, so does that make sense? Let me know if that makes sense, guys. Because that's one really important thing that you need to know about these bots, because yeah, one can go red for a little bit of time and it doesn't mean that it's a bad performing bot. I'm just reading the comments before I move on. Yeah, we're good. Thumbs up. Good. Thank you, guys. Smash the like buttons if you haven't liked it already. Smash that like button. Okay, so the key insight here is to understand that like I showed you, the grid profits are realized, and that's the actual cash that the bot has generated. You can pull out or you can recompound it. The floating P&L will fluctuate as price moves, but those grid profits are locked in. Okay, so if you pick the wrong market conditions, the price can break out of your range. And if it doesn't come back, you will be stuck holding bags. The bot will buy all the way down to the bottom of your range. So I'm only talking about long bots, but know that everything is in reverse if you open a short bot. I'm talking about long bots because we are hopefully still in a bull market. No, we are, don't worry. We are. Pullbacks, but we're in a bull market, don't worry. So anyway, point being that in the case of a long bot, it will keep buying down to the bottom of your range. Now, if you get your range wrong and price dips further down below that, it just stops. So it won't do anything. It won't continue, buying and selling. It'll just do nothing. And as long as it stays away from your liquidation price, and as long as you still believe that eventually it's going to come back up into your range, you can just leave it and wait. And once it ends up coming back into your range, it triggers again and it will keep going. But if you see it drop down out of your range and you are wrong with your ranges, and like, let's just say that's the beginning of the bear market, if you don't do anything, at some point in time, it can hit your liquidation point and it can liquidate you and take the entire funds that you put on that bot. So it's not risk-free. Nothing in trading is risk-free. Okay, so that's why you're choosing your market selection is absolutely critical. Because like I said, this only works when the price stays within your range for extended periods. And if it breaks out and doesn't return, you're not making grid profits, you're just holding a losing position. And so if you keep holding, like I said, it will keep going, and price keeps dropping, for example, it can go to your liquidation and you can lose what you put on the bot. And that's why education comes first and button pushing comes second. Okay, so with that in mind, here's what I've done and why I decided to make this video today. I have created a complete course around this for you guys. It's a complete education system that teaches you not just the technical setup. Anyone can show you how to just click buttons, but it's the market reading skills, the risk management principles, and psychology behind profitable bot trading. So this is the course. Let me show it to you. In this course, I'm going to cover how to identify the right market conditions, how to set your ranges properly, how to size your positions correctly, how to manage the psychological aspects of seeing red before green, and how to know when to shut a bot down. Because I never want lack of proper education to be the reason someone fails with any strategy that I discuss. And because of that, I am giving this course to you 100% free, but free for a limited time only, just disclaimer. Now, the only requirement is that you sign up for Pionex through the link in the description of this video, and you also need to fund your account with a minimum of $250 or 250 USDT. Now, that's your money. It's not the cost for doing the course. It's your money in your account, and you will be able to use that on creating your first bot. Okay, so the course is completely free for a limited time. So in addition, oh no, hang on, let me just tell you what else you get. So here's what you get. First, you're going to get the complete course. Okay, you're also the course, by the way, it's designed to be completed in under an hour. Like, it's a very quick course, but it's very detailed and covers everything you need to know. My community have already got access to this course. So guys, if you're in the community and you've done the course already, leave your feedback. Let people know, what was the experience like. But second of all, you will also get access to copy my personal bots. You don't have to figure out the settings from scratch. You can literally just copy the exact configurations that I'm using. Let me just very quickly show you how the copy trading works, because it's so simple you're gonna die. But okay, so you will get a link to someone's bot. Okay, so ours are all in here. Once you've got the link, it comes up like this. And what you will see here, this is really important for you to understand. So you're going to see the initial price that they got in. You're going to see the asset, the leverage that they're using. You can see mine's a 3x. This particular bot is a short bot, so you'll see that as well. And you'll see the current price. This here is really important. It's the profit sharing rate. So anyone who shares with you links to bots they've created, like another, you don't have to use mine, like you can use people's on other channels, it's totally fine. I'm just teaching you how to read it. But if you go to any of these channels that are talking about this and you click to copy their bot, you'll see a profit sharing rate, and that is set by the user. So ours is set at 4%. It's nice and low for you guys. Look, to be honest with you, I personally think that anything under 10% is, or 10% and under, it's pretty fair. Like the trader's doing all the work to find the asset, to define the range, to set everything up so that you only have to come in and click this button, copy bot, right? And then decide how much you're going to put on it. So yeah, so that's what it is. Just understand that, if anyone's telling you that there's no profit sharing ratio, just understand that the way that Pionex is set up, it's set up for transparency. Okay, so no matter what anyone says, when you click on someone's bot, you can see it for yourself. Okay, they force the transparency. And so, like I said, even if a trader tells you they take nothing, you can see right here whether or not that's true. And then you can make your decision as to whether or not you want to copy that trade. Now, important note, when you copy someone's bot, you're copying the settings at that exact moment. Okay, if they make changes later, you won't automatically get those updates. That's why the third thing that you're going to get access to with this free course is you're going to get access to my private Discord channel related to the Gridbots. And in this channel, I'll post here. In this channel right here is where I post the links for all of my bots. And then in this second channel here is where I will post any updates I make. So if I, for example, just come in here and say, change the range on Bitcoin from X to Z, all you have to do is go into your bot and change your range. But this is like having real-time access to my personal bot trading decision. All you would need to do is just check the channel once a day. Take you less than 30 seconds, and you can stay up to date with any changes or any new bots that I create. When I post a change, you just update it on your end, but the course teaches you how to do all of those updates, so it's super easy to follow. Now, I don't yet have the link to the course in the description of this video because I know that when I post it, you're going to crash the website because that happened on the weekend. So it's coming, but I just wanted to make sure that I can get through telling you everything that you need to know before I post the link. So the link to Pionex is down there, but the link to the actual course is not yet there, okay? But anyway, point being, having this kind of access to my updates and everything, it makes this more than just a course. It's ongoing education and guidance for as long as you need it. So before I show you how to get access, let me just quickly show you the experience that some of our community are having. Like I said to you, our private members have already gotten access. You can see here, easy to follow Gridbot course. Been in crypto as a spot holder for years. Trading started with grids a few years back. This is moving too fast for me to read. Spent well over 2K on the course. Paid over 3,500 to learn. And it includes almost everything you need to know. Or once spent 5,000 on a bot that promised miracles. Like, look at this, guys. And here's the thing about all of this feedback, right? If you read through these testimonials, you'll notice they're not sitting there saying, oh, look at me, I made $10,000 in a week. Like, they're not lying to you. These are real people generating steady, consistent returns while learning proper risk management. And that's what this is really about. Building wealth systematically, not gambling with flashy promises. So the goal here isn't to replace your manual trading or to replace your day job. It's to add another tool to your arsenal that can generate income during market conditions where manual trading is difficult. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to access the course soon. But first, what I want to do is, first of all, tell me if you want access to the course, because if not, I'll just keep it for my private community. It's totally fine. So let me know that in the comments. But I also just want to quickly do something interactive. I want you to drop a coin in the comments right now that you want me to have a look at. I'm going to pull up a few of your suggestions, and I'm going to show you exactly how to analyze whether or not your personal suggestion is suitable for this Gridbot trading. And if we find one, we'll create one together right now. So go ahead, leave me some coins in the comments, and I will look it up. I can see you guys saying, yes, you want access. Yes, 100%, guys. Education is so important. Wow. Wait, you guys are smashing these comments. Let me have a look. Give me a coin to look at. Someone said ADA. Okay, let's have a look at ADA. Okay, so for me personally, I like to look at these on high time frames. 4-hour time frame has kind of been my sweet spot a little bit lately. So with Cardano, let's see, do we have, oh yeah, we've got a fairly defined range. Okay, so we can see that the bottom of the range is down here and the top of the range is, we'll go, no, it's create a higher high, so it's a little bit difficult, but the top of the range is about there. Let me see some of your other ones. I want to see if we can find a better one. Let me just quickly look at Ondo. No. Ondo. Yeah, maybe. Okay, so this is looking a bit better to me because, look, again, we want equal highs and equal lows, okay? So we've got basically equal highs. I'll put it up to here. Basically equal highs here, and we've got equal lows here-ish. Now, the thing is, you want the price when you're setting up a bot to be in the lowest 60% of the range because that's where it's going to trigger its buys. So in this one, ideally, I would like to see it, like it's in the bottom 60, it would be, but I would like to see it come down a little bit more, but it doesn't matter because it's in the range to buy. This is the other thing about Gridbots is you don't have to time the perfect entry like you have to with trading. So as long as price is anywhere within around, this is in the case of a long bot again, as long as the price is anywhere around the bottom 60% of your range, you can start the bot. If you don't want to, like if you want to wait for the price to come down a little bit more, you can also get it to trigger where you want it to start. So that's another thing you can do. All of that's explained in the course. I'm not going to go into the complicated details. I just want to set up a very easy bot with you guys. And this one looks like a good one. So let's go with this one, okay? So our range, let me write this down because I'm old and my memory is failing me. So our range is going to be 0.667 to 0.1820. Now, I personally like to go a bit below the range and a bit above the range, but we'll do it this way just for the purpose of explaining. So to get into your bots, you go to futures bot, and you're looking for this one here that says futures grid, and you just click on create. Now we're looking for Ondo. So you find the coin that you want to do and then click on customize here. Then you have to click whether you want it to be a long, short, or neutral. Don't choose neutral, just pick your direction, long or short. In this case, we want long. So we know our range because we just did our charting, all right? So the range is 0.6677 and the highest point of our range is 1.1820. Now, the next section here is the amount of grids. So it tells you next to it the range of grids that you can choose. You want to choose something that is between about 150 to maybe 300 max, probably, yeah, 150 to 300 max. So let's just go somewhere in the middle. Let's just put 200 for now. Now, when you're doing that, what you'll see underneath, it says profit grid fee deducted. For you to get the most optimal fees, we've just magically chosen this so good, guys, you have no idea. But for you to get, like, because obviously you pay fees, that's unavoidable, but you want to optimize that as much as possible. So when you're choosing your amount of grids in this fee section, you want to make sure that it's somewhere between about 0.15 to 0.3. So I'm not sure if you can see this because it's pretty dark on the screen, but it says here 0.17 to 0.34. It's perfect. We've chosen this perfect, okay? Now, and if you have preview grids, it will show you the grids that it's doing. So anytime it's below in our lower range, it's going to be buying. When it gets to the top of the range, it's going to be selling and taking profit. Now, this is the auto reserve that I was talking to you about that I don't want you to make huge mistakes on. Can you see that? Yes, you can. So in here, you're going to put your investment amount, and it gives you a range here that you can choose. So this range is chosen by Pionex. If you enter these things and the minimum investment is more than you can afford to spend, you just have to play around with your range and your quantity until it gets down to what you can afford to spend. Let's just say we were going to put $1,000 on this, okay? Here's how the auto reserve works. First of all, you choose your leverage. So I keep it always on low leverage, 3 to 5x, but you'll learn what type of leverage to use in the course. But we're keeping this on 3 for this example. Now, the way that it works is whatever you decide to invest, Pionex is going to take part of that money as the actual investment that it puts into the market and it gets working. Then it's going to take another part of it. So you can see here, 682 is going to get working. The other part is the 317 that it's going to keep as extra margin. Why does it do that? That acts as a risk management system for you. It's built in for you so that in the event that you have chosen your range incorrectly and the price drops below your range, you can assess whether or not you think you were right about that. And if you wanted to hold through it because you believe it's going to come back into your range, you can then put that extra margin in to move your liquidate or keep the price away from your liquidation. Whereas if you don't do that, if you tick that off, for example, if you untick auto reserve and you have your thing at 1,000, if it goes out of your range and hits the liquidation, it'll take your whole 1,000. And sure, you can add the extra margin here to move your liquidation away, but that doesn't mean you won't get liquidated. Don't ever make the dumb decision of saying price will never go there, because I will tell you what, I had this belief in the bear market of last cycle because it had never happened before. I had this belief that Bitcoin could not go below its prior cycle's all-time high. So I believed that Bitcoin could not, from 67K, was 67? Yeah, could not go below 20K because that's what all of us believed, because the prior cycle's high was 20K. Guess where Bitcoin went? 15,600. You don't know smarter than the market. So don't make the assumption and have poor risk management that the price will never go as low as the liquidation price that is shown. So whatever you put in these two boxes, if you do it this way, you have to be prepared to lose 100% of. If you're not willing to do that, keep the auto reserve ticked. Put in, again, the total amount that you're willing to spend on a bot and risk on a bot, and know that Pionex has built in the risk system for you. Now, in addition to that, let me just move my, oh, is this going to show? It's not going to show because my face is in the way. But in addition to that, hang on, let me see if I move part of me. Can you guys see? Oh, yes, you can see. Perfect. So in addition to all of that, take note of your liquidation price and make sure it's much lower than the range that you've chosen. Our range is 0.6677 and this liquidation is 0.42. So that's good, but we've kept that extra margin in case we need it because we're wrong. This is the trigger price. So if you didn't want to enter now, you could enter it there. And then in addition to all of that, if you want even more protection, you can set a take profit. You can also set a stop loss. Okay. So you don't have to if you're using low leverage and auto reserve. But for peace of mind, if you want to, you can set a stop loss. And the course is going to explain to you how to decide where all of these things are. Okay, so anyway, what am I going to do? We're going to do this and I'm just going to trigger it now. So just so that you guys can see it. So if you're happy with everything, you just click on this create, which you can't see, but right down the bottom there is a create button. It shows you everything here. You can double confirm everything. You click OK. And then bang, your bot is in and it's immediately starts. See how it's gone red first? So don't freak out. It has to buy on the way down first. That's normal. Okay. Let me know. Does this make sense? Is this interesting to you? Are you learning something about bots that you haven't learned yet? That's the most important part. But you can see here that like it took, a few minutes of analysis to decide and find a bot within a good range. But the setup is, seconds, 30 seconds. It's very easy. So this is going to be for you the difference between creating profitable bot trading and gambling. Knowing when not to use them is just as important as knowing when to use them, okay? You can do this on everything. You don't need me to chart every coin for you, okay? You guys are saying, yes, definitely we do. Amazing. Okay, so if you want to learn this approach properly, and I emphasize properly because there is a lot of bad information out there, is exactly what you need to do. Step one, you need to sign up for Pionex. You will find the link in the description of this video right here, okay? That is really important because only that is going to give you access to the course. If you sign up any other way, the system won't recognize you as eligible for the course. Now, I just want to note quickly before I give you the next steps that for our Portuguese viewers that are watching today, shout out to you guys. I know you guys have turned up for this. We do also have this course in Portuguese, but to access that, I need you to head over to Pedro's channel tonight. Pedro's channel is Alpha Crypto Network. He will show you how to access the Portuguese version. So don't access it from this video. Wait for his video tonight. In addition to that, we will also have a Bulgarian version coming very soon. So wait for that as well. Martin will do that for you soon. And then we're going to have other languages as well coming very, very soon. So I will let you know when they drop. Now, step two then is going to be to fund your account. So once you've clicked on that link, fund it with the minimum 250 USDT. That's the minimum required to access the course. But again, it's your money. You can use it on bots. It's not a cost of doing the course. Now, Pionex has some deposit bonuses, which I'll show you here. So if you use that link, you will see this page. And let me just very quickly explain them to you because people get confused by this. So if you join Pionex using the link in the description, you don't have to do KYC too. If you're in a restricted region, first read the instructions in the description of this video before you click any Pionex link. That's very important. Read the instructions in this video and do that step by step to get access. Now, if you're in a non-restricted region, you can get this first register bonus. But with this bonus, you do have to do KYC too. Now it's only 50 USDT. So if you don't want to do KYC too, which is uploading your documents, just don't worry about this one. It's only $50. Who cares, right? But you can get other deposit bonuses and you don't have to do KYC2 for this, just KYC1, which is just your name, email, and just selecting the location that you're in, okay? So this one's much better. With this one, 100, if you deposit 100, you get 100 USDT bonus, 500 gets 300, 1,000 gets 500, 5,000 gets 800, and 10,000 gets 1,000. Now, I want to explain to you how these work because this was confusing for my community. It was confusing for me too, but I just want to be fully transparent because that's what I do. These funds are bonus funds. They're not withdrawable cash, and they will automatically close your position if you reach 20% profit or loss. It's basically designed that way to prevent abuse, but it's essentially free money to practice with. So Pionex are giving you this. So you deposit, they will give you a bonus. Now the bonus can take up to 72 hours. They're being very kind to us, Pionex are, and they're pushing them out if you've used our link within 24 hours, but be prepared to wait up to 72 hours, okay? You will get it, and you'll get an email when you get it. And then when you do get it, you can use that bonus to try out your first bot. Now, just know that when that bot hits 20% profit or loss, if it hits the loss, Pionex absorbs the loss, okay? They're taking it as a cost of you trying out their platform. Oh, wait, I put myself in the middle. I didn't move myself back. Right, that's for them, they're absorbing the cost to allow you to try out the platform. If it makes profit, it will close at the 20% profit. It will give you the profit and Pionex takes their bonus back. So that's why I said, think of it as trial funds. It's not withdrawable cash. Okay. So oh, there it comes. We nearly got through a whole stream without coughing. So anyway, this gives you the ability to try it without risking your own money. Now, step 3 is once your account is funded and you have redeemed these bonuses, you then need to find your UID. So you just go up to the top here of your account, this little, oh wait, you can't see it. Anyway, at the top, oh, I have a picture. Can I insert a picture? No, I can't. Anyway, there's a little person icon at the top and you get that. You'll find a UID with a number. Just copy that number. Now, here's how you get access to the course. I will post the website in a second for you to access this course. But when you get that link, you go down here and you click on sign up for free. This is whether you're a TTC member or not. You need to click on this and that's going to take you to this page right here. All you need to do then is create a username, password, and email. And down here, you paste in your Pionex UID, click submit and confirm, and you will have instant access. If you're already a TTC private member, it's a new account. So it's new details, okay? If not, doesn't matter. This is free for everyone. I will post the link in the description. Like I said to you, I'm not posting it now because I want to be able to show you these pages. So, and I know you're going to crash the website. When you do crash the website, don't worry. Don't worry. Just give it time. It's unlimited for an unlimited period of time. You will be able to come back a bit later and you will get in if that does happen. So have I explained everything? Oh, let me just show you. So this is the course right here that you'll get access to, right? It's 12 or 13 lessons. They're quick. They're easy to understand. Before the end of the course, you're going to have your bots set up. You're also going to have access to the Discord and you're going to know how to copy mine. It's really that simple. So let me show you now. Now that I think I've told you everything, ask me questions in the chat. I know that this stream has gone on really long. We're nearly an hour in, but ask me questions because I'm happy to answer you. And the Pionex team is here watching as well if they need to step in and answer anything complicated for you as well. So whilst I paste this in, you guys go ahead and ask me any questions that you have. I will wait for your questions. Okay, so I'm going to put this right here at the top to make it very easy for you to find. And then I'm also going to put it down here. Okay, now this is the thing that I was telling you. If you're in a restricted country, maybe before you click on the link, just check first that I've got a link here that you can check if you're in a restricted country or not. If you are, follow these steps first. Don't click the Pionex link first. Follow this first, and then yeah, you'll learn what to do. So that should now, let's check. you should now have the link in the description of this video. Let's see if you do. Yes, it's right here, okay? It's the very top line, very easy for you to access. Okay, let me see if we have questions. Ask me questions, man, because if you don't ask me questions, that means that I explain this fantastically. And I'll be very proud of myself if I did. Let me see what's going on here. Let's have a look at Bitcoin whilst I'm waiting for your questions to come through. Easy to follow and clear. It's very exciting. This is the best timing. It is the best timing, especially if we go into summer chop. I'm very excited for that. Hit the likes. Yes. Let me see. How are we going with the likes? Where are we? Oh, what? Dude, this is going to be a first. I freaking love people who watch this channel. I'm not even joking. I'm not a nice, like, oh my God, love you guys so much. I'm not that kind of person, but I actually do love you so much. Have you ever seen a channel, a video where the likes are higher than the people watching? Oh, can you see that? Oh, you can't see it on the screen, but it says 835 watching right now and 856 likes. Go us, man. Go us. We are on fire over here. Yeah, I really want to make sure that I've answered any questions. If there are questions that I know are in the course, I will just tell you that they're in the course. Can we use the bonus on the copy grid? Yes, you can, but like I said, it will copy it until the 20% profit or loss, and then it will close it. But it doesn't matter because that's your opportunity to trial it. And then once you've trialed it, you're like, okay, I like this bot. You go in with your own money. No questions because most of us are already in it. I bet you are. I bet you all front ran me and got the link before I posted it. Is United States in the region? Check the link. It explains everything in the unrestricted region of the description of this video. Course is very self-explanatory. Thank you for the feedback. I'm excited for the course, no questions. Yeah, guys, look, honestly, it's very fast. You'll get through it very fast. You'll be set up. It's important for you to understand what you're doing. That's why we created it. Can we have a look at the progress of the week using TBD system? Dan, this is an amazing question. And I'm going to answer it because you even just led me into something that I would have bloody forgotten to tell you. Hang on a second. Okay, before I get to that, I want to tell you something else because I can see someone said, what do we do if we already have a Pionex account? So what you can do is you in your Pionex account, as long as your account is less than 14 days old, you can go into here, click here on dashboard, and then here, can you see it? Yes, it says referral code. Under that, it will say, I can't remember what it says. It's something, it's a clickable link. Click on that and you can put our code in there and it will bind your account to us and then you can get access to the course. So the code that you will put in is, I'll put it in the description. It's not there now, but I'll put it in the description by the end of this video. So you can bind it. Now, if your account is more than 14 days old, unfortunately that won't work. So then you will need to create a new account if you're wanting to unlock the course. So let me tell you the thing that I just got excited about. Hang on a second. Okay, let me just check any other questions before I tell you this last thing. Can I do it without leverage? Yes. So they have, I don't have copy bots for it personally, but they do have spot. You go here, trading bot, and you can do spot trading on it as well. But you'll see my bots are all very, very low leverage. Bots are working on the likes. I love your Ondo explanation. Okay, good. Okay. Annie, what does TBD stand for? Trade by design. That's what it stands for. Okay, so let me explain this last thing to you then, because this is the one, it's like I'm Oprah today, man. I am Oprah today. So there's one more thing that I need to tell you about. This one is time sensitive. In about 1 week from today, I'm going to run a private masterclass. In that masterclass, I'm going to reveal my personal Gridbot strategy for the rest of this market cycle. This is something I haven't shown anyone yet. It's not in the course. It's not in the Discord channels. It's nowhere. It doesn't exist because we got spies watching us, right? So it's my secret, stays in my head. But this strategy allows me to hold long-term bots, sit through major pullbacks effortlessly, and never have to worry about liquidation. It's how I've been able to keep the bots running through 20 to 30% market moves without getting liquidated. Here's the thing. To get access to that masterclass, you need to have registered for that course first. And honestly, it's in your best interest to also have completed the course. Like I said, it's going to take you under an hour, but you want to have done that before attending the masterclass, because what I'm going to teach in that masterclass, it's not the basics. Okay. It's on the assumption that you know the basics. It's one step beyond that, beyond anything that's covered in the course material. Now, there's only going to be 3,000 spots available for the masterclass. This video will likely hit 20,000 views within 24 hours. You can do the math on that. So to make sure that you're on the list to receive the masterclass invitation email, you need to register for the course like today. Then keep an eye out in your emails. If you're already registered for it, don't worry, you're on the list as well. Once that email goes out, it's first come, first served for those 3,000 spots. Just remember that this isn't about replacing your manual trading or your day job. It's about adding another professional tool to your arsenal that can generate income when the market conditions are right, okay? So you know my philosophy. If you've been following this channel, you know that I'm all about building wealth intelligently and systematically with proper risk management. We don't chase get rich quick schemes or pull all of our eggs in one basket. The Gridbots won't make you rich overnight. That's not what they're designed to do. Anyone who tells you that they do is lying to you. But when used correctly with proper education and in the right market conditions, they will turn a dead market into like productive income time, okay? So let me know, are you excited for the masterclass? Because yeah, I want to get 3,000 people on it, that's for sure. And I want to answer that last question as well about can you use it for the TBD system. So here's my little lesson for you. When I first started, when I first started, oh shit. See, the universe doesn't want me to give this lesson away. Hang on a second. My tea's gone cold, so it's not even going to work. This is a sign that I need to stop talking. So I'm going to tell you this and then I'm going to leave you with this information. When I first started trading Gridbots, I thought I'm a fucking genius. What I'm going to do is I'm going to short the high of the week and I'm going to long the low of the week. And that's it, because that didn't work. It's the moral of the story. It didn't work. I kept getting stopped out and I lost everything. Not everything. I lost every bot that I set up. At the time I was paying $15. It wasn't a big amount of money, but I learned so that I could make the mistakes so that I could tell you what works and what doesn't. The reason it didn't work is because at the time that I was shorting the how, Bitcoin broke out. So it didn't work. So then I started long and shorting the peak formations, which is how I manually trade. That didn't work either, because if you don't pick the peak formation right, it's going to go out of your range. What I learned was the best way to use Gridbots is in higher time frame analysis. And that is why I got very excited about it, because like I said to you in the start of this video, it's not a replacement for trading. It's a perfect complement to trading, because with trading, I can continue doing my short time frame trading, and with bots, they're trading higher time frames where, you know, the stop hunts and the this and that, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. So I've got a high time frame, almost automated, not 100% like I said, you have to check on it daily, but I've got an almost automated thing that is chill and stress-free, that is just trading for me 24 hours a day whilst I sleep. And because I'm personally trading every day, my eyes are on the market anyway, and I can see whether or not I should close those bots or they're fine to keep going. And the one thing I will tell you that really helped me as far as the timing of setting up the bots was when you get those peak formations, like when you get, like this weekend, for example, like when you have a serious kind of sell-off, but a sell-off in a bull market, and you know that all the liquidity gets wiped, you start your bot then. And so it's basically starting from the bottom of the range, and your upside is whatever your upside is. So it's it's good for peak formations. It's not good for trying to long and short the levels and trade. I think you should just trade one direction according to the market cycle. So right now we're in a bull market. Your long bots are going to pay better. When we go to a bear market, we will trade short bots together. When we're in the accumulation phase, that last, like when the bear market bottoms out, we're going to trade like freaking maniacs. And that's what I'm going to leave you with. All right, guys, everything is linked down below. Be sure to read everything in detail, and I'll see you guys on the next one.